Yo guys, what's poppin'? It's your boy Tacho here, and we are back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes. Alright, it's Datamine time, and we've got the data mines for the units on the Plegia banner. So pretty cool. We're going to be able to take a look at their stats and their boons and banes and stuff. And besides the banner, we also have a couple of tidbits of info that I really want to share with you guys. Some pretty cool developments have come up. So stick around, we're going to cover all of that stuff in due time. But let's just start things off with the banner and the units. And of course, like always, I have my cheat sheet right here with all the information compiled. So let's start things off with Harmonic Thick Dancer combo. I mean, Milk Truck Byleth is going to have some competition here, obviously. So Dorothea, let's take a look at this healthy young lady's stats. So she's got 37 HP, 38 attack, 35 speed, 16 defense, and 26 res, for a grand total BST of 152. And then she's got a super boon in attack with super banes in HP, defense, and res. So obviously you're going to want to go plus attack. I guess you could try plus speed, but like, what you really want to go for with Dorothea is trying to hit one-shot KOs if possible. She is a dancer, so mainly you just want her for support. And then she also has the harmonized skill that provides dancing to allies in two range, assuming they are from the same game as her. So, pretty good support. Very good harmonized skill, obviously, for resonant battles and Aether raids. So, if you manage to pull this unit, you're going to be able to get some really good mileage out of them. And their weapon is also basically like every single chill skill built into one. So that could be handy if you need them for debuffs. Alright, next up we've got Katarina. So Katarina's got 39 HP, 37 attack, 43 speed, 16 defense, and 28 res, for a grand total of 163 BST. And Katarina has no super boons whatsoever, but then she's got a super bane in everything besides attack. So poor Katarina out here just getting shafted. I guess it doesn't really matter that she doesn't have a super boon, because like 163 BST and then you get a boon and one merge to erase the bane. She's practically on 166 BST, which I guess is fair for a flying type mage unit. But otherwise, I mean, Katarina, her weapon is like, I guess you could say the best weapon out of this batch, because first of all, it's the only perf weapon on the banner, besides Dorothea's. And then it's like the inheritable weapons on the banner, like Plegian Bow and Tharja's Tome and stuff. It does all stats as opposed to 2. So if you're able to get any debuffs whatsoever on the foe, and then you're inflicting 2 stats, or all stats -5 in tandem with whatever already debuffs you may have on the foes, Katarina is going to be a pretty sick unit. So I guess her stats not being like crazy high, it already is compensated for by her weapon. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to Tharja up next. Basically, the unit who inspired the entire banner. They just wanted an excuse to give everybody the same outfit that Tharja has, obviously. I just wish they would have stuck to the theme a little bit better. Obviously, it's a Plegia banner, so why couldn't we get more characters from Plegia? I have no idea. Alright, regardless, Tharja's got 40 HP, 39 attack, 41 speed, 19 defense, and 22 res, for a grand total of 161 BST. And Tharja's got super boons in both attack and speed, with a super bane in HP. So pretty easy to build Tharja. I mean, go for plus attack or plus speed, whichever one you think you're going to be able to pull. And her weapon, of course, it's going to inflict attack and res -5. And then if the foes have any active debuffs on attack or res, they're just going to combine into the -5 and then get stacked up a lot. Really crazy debuff weapons on this banner. And it's nice that we're getting an inheritable tome that's actually pretty good. So a green tome, I just wish she was red, honestly, because I think red tomes are the most starved for good weapons right now. But I digress. Very nice tome effect, and hopefully we see the rest of those coming at some point in the future. Okay, next up we've got Raphael, the 4-star demote on the banner. So I guess just by default that makes him interesting. Most people are probably going to be able to get this guy up to plus 10. Well, I guess if you're a fan of him and you've been hoarding those orbs. But anyways, Raphael's got 48 HP, 42 attack, 28 defense, or 28 speed, my bad, 38 defense, and 23 res for a BST of 179. And he's got a Super Boon in attack and a Super Bane in speed. So seems pretty self-explanatory. An armored bow unit, you go plus attack on him. Maybe give him Brave Bow and Bold Fighter so you can pull off the nasty combo there. You could also give him Ignis as well. Basically, he's just going to be a superior offensive armored bow unit. Now, I feel like Valentine Faye is still a little better on defense because she's got some better res to work with. But totally, Raphael is going to be awesome on offense. And being a colorless bow unit, he may have some advantages on defense over Winter Felix, who was blue, unfortunately. So you may be able to get some more mileage out of Raphael than Felix. Only downside, of course, is that you got to summon on the banner if you want to get him to plus 10. And last but not least, we have our Tempest Trial prize unit. So male Kris, with some artwork right there. I mean, he's trying to show off that sexy back. Like, this really reminds me of Shinoa from Castlevania. But I digress. Kris has 41 HP, 37 attack, 37 speed, 31 defense, and then 22 res for a grand total of 168. And unfortunately, Kris does not have any super boons. Real unfortunate because he is a free unit, and it would have been real nice if he had one. But he does have a Super Bane in HP. So with Kris, I feel like he's not necessarily impressive on paper. Like, you look at his stats and it's like, oh, like, why not just build Petrine instead? But see, the thing about Kris is that he's an offensive axe cavalry unit. And we don't really have any of those, to be honest. Like, we've got Groom Marth, and we have the freaking Spring Alphonse from way back when. But no one really uses those guys too much. So if you want an offensive cavalry axe unit, a modern one at that, then Kris is actually pretty good for that. And it's really nice that he's not competing with anyone, really, for this slot. So if you want to build him up, he does have some variety there, I guess. Not too shabby for a free unit. And let's go over here to the Datamine grab bag, courtesy of the homie Banpei-Kun from the Fire Emblem Heroes subreddit. I'm going to leave a link in the description of this video to this Reddit post here so you guys can check out basically all the compiled information from the Datamine for yourself. But there are some tidbits that I want to go over here, like I brought up in the start of the video. So first of all, if we go down over here to the upcoming Hall of Forms, normally I don't cover this until the actual Hall of Forms video, but there's some pretty interesting units here that I think we got to talk about. So this round of Hall of Forms is going to be Fae themed, so Fire Emblem Heroes, and we got Lake Jarn, Bride Fjorm, Ylger, and Spring Veronica as the unit choices. Obviously, there is one unit that stands out as a very good Forma. So, Bride Fjorm, obviously this is like Brave Lucina. You just pull a copy of her, and then all of a sudden you're set. You can inflict isolation on foes and go to town. So, pretty cool that Bride Fjorm is going to be available here. And, of course, her being a staff unit, you're going to be able to get some cool staff skills on her. And I think Rescue is going to be available because, of course, Flame has been around for a while by this point. I don't think you're going to be able to get Return yet because What's-Her-Face Sarah is still available on a banner. So Return, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to get, which would have been insane if you could. But still, Rescue is not bad for an assist on these healers. I don't think you're going to be able to get Odd Recovery either, unfortunately. We just got it on the Winter Sephiran, and even though his banner went away, the game hasn't updated yet to include his skill in Hall of Forms. So we're missing out on a couple of key skills with this Bride Fjorm, but regardless, I think it's going to be fine in the end. Of course, she inflicts isolation, and all you really got to do is give her HP plus 5 as the A skill and the seal, and you should be good to go. You could even go ahead and Ivy Fruit her for plus HP if you wanted to. But once you give her blessings and you've got a bunch of mythic heroes on the team, her HP is going to be pretty high for offense anyway. So definitely some good stuff there. And I'm going to do a video later, of course, talking about good skills to pick up on basically all of these Forma units. So if you're interested in that, then stick around. Alright, let's take a look at what else we've got here. Okay, so also the Sacred Seals, I want to talk about this. So our Sacred Seals for this round of Tempest Trials, we're getting Air Orders and Brazen Speed and Defense. So the Brazen Seals are never a bad seal. I think you can get away with them on pretty much any unit. They're also pretty nice for filler if you're running Tempest Trials and maybe going for the auto battle feature to clear it. So Brazen Seals, never a bad thing. But Air Orders, that's actually a pretty good one. And I gotta admit, it does live up to the hype of us getting non-stop really awesome Sacred Seals. You guys already know Christmas and New Year's were pretty stacked. So Air Order is going to be a nice seal to add to that. If you're playing a Flyer Ball on defense in Aether Raids, then Air Orders is really going to come in handy in there. So pretty nice. And we can go ahead and scroll down a bit more over here. So with Kris, his weapon is the Plegian Axe. And what it does is basically the exact same thing as Raphael's weapon on this banner. Except as opposed to being a bow, it's an axe. So if unit is not adjacent to an ally, inflicts penalty on foes' attack and defense during combat, equal to 5 plus any current penalty on each of those stats. And the example, of course, that we went over in the trailer, if the foe has a -7 penalty to attack, inflicts attack -12 for a net penalty of attack -19. So if you're able to inflict debuffs on the foes, which is not too hard to do if you're in Aether Raids, of course. We have a whole bunch of structures that can do this, like the Infantry School. We got the Shrines. We got also the Panic Manor. You're really going to be able to pile on the debuffs here pretty hard. And I've heard some people comparing this weapon to Spendthrift Bow, where Spendthrift Bow is inflicting attack -7 on the foe and then granting you attack up 7. These weapons on this banner are always going to be inflicting -5 to at least 2 different stats. Like this one, it's doing attack and defense -5, and Tharj's Tome is attack and res -5. So already, like, attack and defense or attack and res -5, pretty comparable to Spendthrift Bow. Except the other good thing about these weapons is that they don't have the penalty of Spendthrift Bow where it automatically re-ramps your special attack. So it becomes very difficult to use specials with that weapon. Whereas these weapons don't have that flaw to them. So that's pretty good. And then you can potentially get even further debuffs as well. So even though Spendthrift Bow out of the box is going to have better debuffs and stat bonuses for your unit, if there is a penalty on the foe, then all of a sudden these weapons start to look a lot better. So pretty good stuff. I mean, it's hard to argue with these weapons. If you're looking to pick them up and possibly deck out some of your units, might not be a terrible idea. Especially Raphael, because he's going to be the 4-star summon on the banner. And his weapon, in some situations, may be as good as or better than Spendthrift Bow. You probably want to pick this up and give it to some of your bow units. Just a heads up. At least if you're interested in it. Like, if you've already got Spendthrift Bow, I don't think it's going to be a necessity. But it could be a good idea, is all I'm saying. So, also, for Kris's stats, he's got Draconic Aura as a 4-star, Speed and Defense 2 as a 5-star, and Chill Attack 3 as a 4-star. So, again, they just keep on shafting us with the skills on these free units. I can't understand why. Like, do they really need to do us this dirty every single time? Chill Attack 3, really? You know how many units have Chill Attack 3 already? Oh my god, I don't even know what to say. Like, they can't have the decency to give us, I don't know, like Swift Sparrow 3 or Death Blow 4 or something. Death Blow 4 in particular would be pretty good to get, because it's not like anyone even uses that skill anymore. You might as well just go for a push level 3, or, I mean, a push level 4, or one of the joint skills for, like, Impacts or Swift Sparrow 3 or whatever. There's way too many A-slot skills right now that just do so many other things than Death Blow 4. I feel like if they wanted to give us a 300 SP skill for free, that's probably the best choice. But regardless, they just feel the need to continuously shaft us no matter what. Okay, whatever, who cares? And that pretty much wraps us up for all the coverage on this banner. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. And, of course, this is your boy Tasho signing out. Let me know in the comments section down below what you guys think of the banner and the units after we've had a chance to really look at their stats and skills in depth. And I will catch you guys again on the flip side.